Hi everyone, it's Heather with Tropica Exotica, and today I want to talk about perspectives. So if you saw my intro, I had a little joke there. I think in the spiritual awakening process, you really have to keep a sense of humor. And so that was just my little poke at, keeping things light and like we can't take ourselves too seriously. So before I get started on the topic of perspectives, I wanted to first just kind of talk about some general things that I've been experiencing spiritual awakening process-wise, ascension-wise. So as I'm filming this, it's November 10th, and so for the last couple of weeks in October, the Schumann resonance has really been picking up, and it's really been off the chart. We've had a lot of energies come in, and I'm kind of starting to notice some patterns about my own personal experience. I think that I start feeling the energies before they actually show up on the Schumann resonance chart. I've heard that some people, that can happen to them where they feel it before the energy actually kind of comes through. And so that's one thing that I've been kind of noticing about myself, and what I notice is that I end up getting really tired, and then as the energies are here, I think that makes me have a lot of energy, and I'm also starting to notice that I am getting happier as these energies come through, but they kind of initially kind of knock me down, and then I'm supercharged with energy, and I'm kind of, bouncing off the walls. And this last week I was actually just giddy for several days, so it's been really interesting. The other thing that I've been noticing is I've been having, the last couple of weeks, I was having like these scalp tingles. I don't know how else to describe them, but I know they started up when I had my Kundalini activation, and so I tie it to Kundalini energy, but for some reason, I don't even know why or what the meaning of, but I do have, like, it feels like my scalp is kind of moving. And it's just on one side of my head. And then another thing that I've been noticing is I've been seeing like these little white dots in my field of vision, and it's just over to the left or to the right, and so it kind of like draws my attention over there. I'm not really sure what is going on with that, but I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that. So those are just a few things that I've been noticing. The other thing that I've really been noticing, it's been really crazy, is the number of synchronicities that I've experienced. It seems that I come across one piece of information, and then before you know it, then I've seen 3 or 4 different other pieces of information if I think about it. So I really am starting to notice that, and Aluna Ash had talked about this in one of her videos. I'll try to remember to link it because she has a really good explanation of, how we really need to be conscientious of the thoughts that we have right now, because manifestation ability is picking up really quickly. So I will try to link that video because I found it was really great. So let's get into the concept I wanted to cover today, which is perspectives. So during the spiritual awakening process, what will happen is you start to open up to different ideas and concepts and beliefs. And so what ends up happening is you get really excited, and you want to talk about these perspectives with other people. You want to talk about your spiritual experiences. Hold on just one second. You want to talk about your spiritual experiences and, aliens, different control systems. So you start to have this kind of urge to talk to other people. And what might end up happening is you might get a little frustrated because you see that as the truth from now on. It's like, this is your reality, this is how it is for you, and so you want to talk to other people about it. And so one of the things that I came across, Magenta Pixie said, and it has helped me so much, it was the concept that we create our own realities, so all perspectives are correct. That sounds like a really simple statement, but for some reason that had such a profound experience to me, being able to talk and engage with other people and not get so frustrated or have any type of judgment about it, because I see that as creator beings that we create our own reality. So what's true for me is not true for somebody else. So, you know, it allowed me to view things in a fundamentally different way. So it kind of allowed me to see and let other people have their own experience without judgment. So it was a real paradigm shift for me, just kind of looking at it from that way. And of course that's based on the law of attraction, which is that we create our own reality through our thoughts, words, actions, and most importantly through our feelings. And so as we start to spiritually awaken and we understand, you know, other people don't share the same outlook that we do, then that's okay. Another concept that I want to talk about though is the concept of blueprints, and I have a video on that if you want to go look for that. But there's also what we need to keep in mind about how we create our own reality. There is a potential that we charted to have certain experiences here on Earth, and so we need to keep that in mind when we look at our experiences that we have. So what I wanted to do was just kind of talk through some different examples of how perspectives might play out for different people. So I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay, so I wanted to talk through a couple of scenarios. And so I have, you know, kind of examples of 3 different people here. I have the concept of source, God, blueprints, law of attraction, and the thought that all of these people create through their thoughts, words, and actions, and so their perspective may be very different. And just to keep in mind, we've talked about this before, that we create either consciously or unconsciously. So a lot of times we create unconsciously because we're not paying attention to our thoughts and what we say, and we need to be very conscientious of that, because that is what is creating our reality, our 3D experience. So to just talk through a couple of examples of perspectives. So in one scenario we could say, okay, someone gets killed in a car accident. So this person A, they don't believe in God, souls, or reincarnation. So when they're looking at the perspective of a person getting killed, they're probably very upset. They might be thinking about that other person's situation, how their family feels, and you know, they might almost own that sadness, thinking that that could have been them. Now if we look at person 2, number B there, this person believes in God and they believe in heaven and hell. So this person's perspective might be that they're sad, but they have faith and they don't understand the reason why that happened, but they're okay because they have their faith. They believe that that was God's will. So person number 3 scenario, or person number 3 or C, they believe that we are co-creators as God and that we create our own reality through the law of attraction. They also believe that souls have blueprints to experience what they will experience on Earth. So person number C, they feel empathy, but they believe that they don't know why that soul chose that experience, and so they don't engage in trying to understand why that happened. It isn't their place to understand or know what that soul was trying to accomplish by having that experience. So let's look at another scenario. Say somebody gets an incurable illness. So person number 1, their perspective is they don't believe in God, souls, or reincarnation. So they don't understand why this would happen to such a nice, kind person. They're extremely upset and they feel this person never did anything to deserve to suffer in this way. Person B, they believe in God and they believe in heaven and hell. So when it comes to this person having an incurable illness, they believe they don't know why this person got such a horrible illness, but that it was God's will. And God works in mysterious ways. So person C down here, they believe that we are co-creators as God and that we create our own reality through the law of attraction. They believe that souls have blueprints or plans of certain experiences they will have on Earth. So this person's perspective is very different than person A and B. They believe that the person created this illness through their thoughts, words, or action in this lifetime. Or they believe it was a blueprint or plan for that soul to experience. So the thing that we want to look at in this last perspective is that once somebody's awake and aware and that they are God, that they have the power to change that blueprint. They know that they are sovereign. So in some cases though, it may be that that soul has a desire to experience an incurable illness for a bigger purpose, and we may not know what it is, but the key is always going to be to have compassion for whatever experience that may be. So those are a couple of different scenarios just to illustrate a couple of things that I know that I've personally come across and people that have different perspectives and how they view stuff. Now, granted, everybody's got every kind of thought under the sun as far as how they would view those things, but I just wanted to illustrate a few examples of certain outlooks that people may have regarding those situations. And so the thing that you want to understand is that all of those perspectives are okay. None of them are right or wrong, and each person creates their own reality through their thoughts, words, and actions and feelings. So the thing that I always keep in mind though, when I look at perspectives is, does that perspective make you feel better or worse? That's just something I would always keep in mind. But when it comes to going through a spiritual awakening process and having these experiences where your outlook and belief and perspectives are very different than other people, you just want to keep in mind that when you're engaging with people about different situations, that you're always present and you're open and you're respectful when you have conversations. And if somebody is open, and you can kind of gauge this yourself, but if you feel that they are open, you might want to offer your perspective. But the way that you want to do that is to not make it personal or accusatory, but kind of keep it more general and reflective. And then another thing I wanted to talk about is that a lot of times when we're talking about certain perspectives, we're talking about looking at things from a multi-dimensional perspective. So if we're just looking at our 3D experience, that's one perspective, but we're looking at it from a higher self, such as your higher self, which it might be 5D or higher. That's kind of looking at things from a bigger picture, and so that would be kind of a multi-dimensional perspective on things. So people may not get your reality the way that you think and view things, but really what you want to do is just be patient and allow other people to have their own experience. So we're all in this together and we're all trying to figure it out, and I know that the concept of perspectives and my outlook on it has changed, and I feel a lot happier now that I don't feel like I need to tell people about aliens or or any other belief system. It's that, you know what, let people have their own experience and create their own reality, and that's what we're here to do. So anyway, I hope this helps. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and following us. I appreciate it. If you're interested in any of the products, such as the bracelets or t-shirts, please feel free to take a look at the description box below. I have a lot of links, as well as links to our different social accounts. So feel free to check those out. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.